Just a simple thing. Why me I say that? Because a man say he might hear a reason on a radio program. And he might ask me about how me see the thing. I'm have to tell you how me see it. I mean, not kind of harsh sometimes. Especially if certain kind of mind rastas are listening. So this is a brother there, Muta. You have some Rasta man who fight against Muta more than Babylon. You have some Rasta man who fight against Muta and say, well, the brother not a Rasta, you know. The man never got trim. Me know, but at 25 years today, we can't do no better now. I mean, let me take it off of the real just now. This is the cutting edge and
the Black Radar YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button and keep listening.
With the this topic, we say, well, we hear some people call me today, and apparently they might listen to a program, and a man call about he might quote some Bible verse, and he might associate the Bible verse with Haile Selassie. So the brethren say, he would have like hear when we think about the interpretation of the Bible verses that was quoted. So he might run down the Bible verse, in which most Rasta know them Bible verses by heart, Psalm 68, Psalms 87, most Rasta know them. I mean, we can't say it by heart, 87. Psalms 87, its foundation is in the holy mountain, the land of the gates of Zion, etc., etc., etc. But the brethren asks how me interpret the two, let's say, extol him that ride up on the wind as Jah. Now, according to him, I say, the man said Haile Selassie was crowned Jah. I don't know how him get that. Haile Selassie crowned Jah. I don't know how him get that. I never hear that in the coronation. And I play that tape there so many times, the coronation tape. How Haile Selassie gonna get crowned Jah? Jah is a bastardization of a Hebrew word, Yah. Y-A-H, because there's no J in Hebrew language. And we keep repeating it over and over. J is the last letter in the English language. 500 years ago, J come in the English language. That was in the advent of the Bible, the King James Bible, 500 little years ago. But before 500 years, like 600 years ago, there was no J in the alphabet, neither in Hebrew. So you wouldn't have no Jah, you'd have Yah, Y-A-H. Any word that have where your name, like Judah is a Judah. So really and truly now, nobody never crowned Haile Selassie, no Jah. Haile Selassie was crowned Emperor Haile Selassie the first, King of Kings, conquering line of Judah, elect of God. That is where him get crowned officially. The King of Kings is relating to, because there are many kings in Ethiopia, the emperor is the King of Kings. So there's a different kind of system where, like where you have councillors in Jamaica and you have ministers, where you have the prime minister. The prime minister is the highest minister in the land, even though you have different ministers, but you have prime minister. Well, in Ethiopia you have many kings, but the emperor is the King of Kings. Thus the title King of Kings. No, there's no crowning of no emperor as Jah. A Rastaman come with that title upon him, Jah, because he want to relate Jah with the Israelite God, Yah, which is really Yahweh. So him say Jah, because the Rastaman is not familiar with the Hebrew language. Plus, in a Psalm 68, it actually says Jah. A lot of people don't know say the word Jah in the Bible. That is really the unfortunate thing too. A lot of people in Jamaica feel says Rastaman bring up that word there, Jah. But in a Psalm 68, if you should search the King James Bible, you will see in Psalm 68, I think it's verse 4, it says, extol him that ride up on the wind as Jah. So the Rastaman prefer to use the word Jah most of the time than God. Most of the time. I come up among some Rasta we never used to say God. I keep saying that over and over. People must have wondered what I say. But it's true, I come up among some Rasta man who never used to say God in their mouth at all. No. Psalms 87 is a little more complex. Because in the Psalms, its foundation is in the holy mountain. The Lord loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things are spoken of the old city of God. I make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know me. Behold, Philistine Tyre with Ethiopia, this man was born there. And it shall be said that this and that man was born in her. No. The normal interpretation where Rasta give that is the part when it say, behold, Philistine Tyre with Ethiopia, this man was born there. So the Rasta man asks the question, which man was born there? But for him there is the last country that is called in the stream of countries, the old Philistine Tyre with Ethiopia. This man was born there. So him say, which man was born there? Him say, there, where is there? Him say, the psalm that talk about Ethiopia. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really interpret it that way there. And I don't really use that to validate my reference to Haile Selassie. Because its foundation is in the holy mountain. The Lord loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. The gates of Zion is in Jerusalem. It's a mountain where King David used to live. And them claim, say, him buried there. Tony can attest to that. Tony Rebel, my brethren, can attest to that. The idea that Zion is other than Jerusalem, the Mount Zion other than somewhere else, it's kind of stretch the thing, really. If you really is a biblical man, its foundation is in the holy mountain. Who for foundation in the holy mountain? The foundation, Israel's foundation, is the King David. The Psalms are written, most of the Psalms are written to King David. And that is what them say. Most of the Psalms written to King David. So his foundation is in the holy mountain. The Lord loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Because Jacob, remember that Jacob is many tribes. But him single out one tribe, which is the tribe of Judah, which is from David. He said, David, foundation is in the holy mountain. The Lord loveth the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. So glorious things are spoken of the old city of God. What is the city of God matter about? The city of God matter about is Jerusalem, Mount Zion. Mount Zion is the city of God according to that Psalms. Him said, I make mention of Rahab and Babylon to them that know me. Remember, I said Rahab and Babylon is countries, you know. And then him said, behold, Philistine Tyre with Ethiopia. That means, you know, he might include that portion of country with Ethiopia. I don't really think that the writer who write the thing has singled out a country to say this man was born there. Because they don't tell you say the man who he might talk about is the mount that was situated in Mount Zion, the city of the great king. I remember say Israel said they want a king, you know. And them say, but have I been your king for so long and then you still talk about you want a king? Like the nations around you. So him give them a king, him give them Benjamin. Saul from the tribe of Benjamin. And then Saul get turned madman. And then David take over from the tribe of Judah. So David is who the Psalms are deal with. Now when you go to Ethiopia, the better way them reinterpret it to mean that is Mary. The Psalms is written to Mary. That is how them interpret it. The Psalms is written to Mary. The Virgin Mary. The Rasta man take it and him say, there's a specific thing that him use. Him say, with Ethiopia. So because it say with Ethiopia, Bible Rasta, biblical people who are read Rasta who are read the Bible, start to differentiate the old Philistine Tyre with the old Philistine Tyre. Him separate these countries now and say, Ethiopia, this man was born there. But it go down and say, the old Philistine Tyre with Ethiopia, this man was born there. And him say, and it shall be said that this and that man was born in Ur. And the highest himself shall establish Ur. So him is now making the city an object, a female. Him said, behold, Philistine Tyre with Ethiopia, this man was born there, and it shall be said that this and that man was born in Ur. And the highest himself shall establish her. And him say now, whom going to register, even the singers and players of instrument will be there. Personally, and I talk for no Rasta, and I talk for nobody, but looking upon the thing over the years, people, you see, sometimes if you want to strengthen yourself in a belief, you look for what will strengthen you, even though the thing not realizing, no have nothing to do with what you think. So if something say that, you're going to look for something that can strengthen you in that, even though that never talk to you at all. So what I have to know is that a whole heap of Bible person can find solace and comfort in an interpretation of things where man write 4,000 years ago. We never even know why the man did write it. And that about him, don't even know who write it. Because them say Psalms of David, Psalms of Moses, Psalms of this, that and that. Psalms to the kings. You know, people said it. Psalms to the king, and people start to say, I got it to talk about. Nobody don't write Psalms to God. Man write Psalms to think people can say. There's the king him talk about. And who was the king? It's King David. It's sent around Mount Zion. Mount Zion in Ethiopia. Rasta put it there. Which is part of the, what you call, trying to cut off your foot to fit the shoes. Rasta put Mount Zion in Ethiopia. As a matter of fact, you have a whole heap of Rasta will say, instead of him say heaven, him say Zion. So automatically they might transport and transform heaven into a physical place, which is Mount Zion. Nobody in history, whether the people that are right or not, did ever think say Mount Zion is heaven. Because you have Rasta now who Rasta dead and them same gone as Zion. I thought that you could take a plane to Zion. I never know you have to dead to go to Zion. It's kind of weird. Because see, where we are, we are fall in the same trap where we are run from. We go back into something where we never did really want to accept, because we realize, oh, that thing trap we. But now we are finding ourselves, you know, I suck it up. That man has said, no, Rasta dead and gone as Zion. You understand that? And me can tell you, say, me a rebel, go as Zion. So me don't know, me never dead. It's walk up there. As a matter of fact, them show 1 2 months are in there, so David Berry. Hey, Tony Rebel. But I don't joke with you, say all them picture there. No, I Ethiopia, I don't take the picture there. I Ethiopia, I don't take the picture there. But even to that, we don't see the picture there yet, you know. For Ethiopia, you know, but Mount Zion is in Jerusalem. Mount Zion is not heaven. That is an illusion. Say, you're dead and gone at Zion. It's to show the contradiction in the mind when you start to try to interpret some 4,000 years writing where you don't have nothing to do with. You don't have nothing to do with it, but you try to interpret it for suit your thinking and your belief, cutting off your foot to fit your shoes. We, as Rasta, did have something, or have something, where are we created? We created to get free from white supremacy and colonialism. And we use these things over the years. And it did go on till I don't know where to reach a stage where man I say, you have to really penetrate now your interpretation of your liberty and experience have to come through some biblical things were written 4,000 years ago where I don't even know who write it. Nobody don't know who write Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, nor Numbers, nor Deuteronomy. I grew up to come here and say Moses write these things. And we can realize, no, say, it can't happen, it no go so. This is part of what is written in Deuteronomy. All the theologians, them and all the people, them white, realize, but Moses couldn't write something that way. They couldn't write his own death. And which part him bury. It's madness. Plus the wickedness and the cruelty of these people who murder and rape in the name of God, the Israel God. I know that we did not deal with. When it comes to Rastafari and Pride, so that's it. I know that we did not deal with. We are dealing with a transformation outside of King James. We are dealing with a transformation outside of the King of England. Well, Leonard Owen say, we must have our own king, and I Selassie is our own king, our king. So how we make them interpret for we. were in slavery. And them use that I done in slavery, you know. Slaves, be obedient to your master. Does not nature teach you that for a man to have long hair? I mean, it's madness. Or a guy named Paul, who born in a Turkey, can come look at me as a Rasta man. And me I read this thing in our Bible, say, nature teach you that for a man to have long hair, it's crazy. So tell me something now. What part of nature teach you that a man mustn't have long hair? What part of nature? When they them that show you about Samson, who power in him ear and Delilah come cut it off. Joshua, Moses come out of the mountain with 7 locks. So how come now Paul come and tell me, well not me, I know me talk to you know, but people imagine Paul write some letters to some white people and black people take the letter like a Paul talk to them. Oh, you're faster than the man letter. You never hear about privacy. Paul put the letter to the Corinthians, letter to the Galatians, letter to the Ephesians. He never said nothing about letter to the Ghanaians. He never said no letter to no Ethiopian. Because him have a verge, as a matter of fact, him take up most of the scriptures than even where the man who's supposed to be the center of the scripture take up. So when Paul say nature teach you, what part of nature teach me? And I internalize it, no, because I Paul talk to. But I hear people say that. Say the Bible say. The Bible say. So where you say. So the argument is that most Rasta locks, you know, but you tell them read the Bible tell them say, nature teach them say, you know, if you have long hair. It's just simple. And you have some man that say, well, the reason why I'm black is to take Nazarene vow. Number 6, him say, when a man take a vow of Nazarene, no reason shall come upon him head, neither him shall drink no strong drink, nor anything that produce strong drink until the day of his separation be fulfilled. Him shall go near no dead body and everything there. Number 6 say that. So, I know that we did a look on when we come to Rasta. I know that bring we to Rastafari. It's a liberty bring us to Rastafari. True Leonard will come tell me, say, watch out. It's obvious that white people have them king. Which part of our king there? 1930, the 2nd of November. A man named Rastafari Makonnen was crowned Emperor Selassie I. And from that we just take it up. And we develop a theology and a culture that is suited for our possibilities. So we see possibilities in the doctrine that Rastafari manifests to us in our living livity, not in our learned livity, where we learn through book. But as time go on, we validate this livity now through the book, because most of us never have no other book but the Bible. It's the only thing black people have in slavery. The Bible. So every part of our spirituality is divine, is defined through that book. And every time we talk, I will come to a conclusion about what we call God. The only way we can know God is through the Bible. No other way. Yet still we didn't come know Haile Selassie. Not through no Bible, it's not Bible show that. And because it's not Bible show, we develop our own consciousness and own philosophy around our liberty. That's why we could tell people say ital food and develop our language to counteract English language. Because we realize that the English language is not adequate enough to express what we want to say. Because it's the sound and the power of the word we are dealing, not the spelling of the word. So when we say word sound have power, we actually mean that the word sound have the power. It's not the literal writing of the word have the power. It's the sound of the word that have the power. That's why these beautiful Jamaican words that them say is bad word. It's not the word itself that is bad, you know. It's how you use the word, it's the power of the word that define if it is bad or it's good. Because our man book him to and ball on Jesus. And you say a bad word that. It's a bad word that, you know. Yet him win lottery and him say what I don't do. Me say and big. That's not a bad word. Him feel good. So him say the cloth them. And him feel good. Yet till a man buck him to and him ball out Jesus and nobody say a bad word. Bad word that. What you ever call Jesus name in a buck foot? A madness. But we have to work with it. And we have to work with it in all possibilities. But we have to realize that the thing has set back the African experience. what we're supposed to experience after slavery. We're supposed to experience something else. That's what we're worried about. We're supposed to experience something else. But instead of we are experiencing something now, we are learning something. Wisdom not come through knowledge, you know. Wisdom come through experience. That knowledge is not good, you know, because knowledge is power, you know. But you find that only people who have knowledge use it at the detriment of human being. Experience is where teach your wisdom. It's not where you read, teach your wisdom. Where you read, make you have knowledge of the thing about where you read about. But if you want experience, you have to go make something happen and then you say, this happened, so you make another man know that that's not supposed to happen because this didn't happen to him. And if you make it happen to you, it's only a fool learn from his own experience. Because sometimes learning from your own experience can be detrimental. So you have to take up the responsibility of knowing, say, boy, right now, you see, if I did experience it that way there, you have to just know, say, boy, right now, if I say fire burn you, if I say fire go burn, you have to just know, say, fire go burn. You know why I got experience burning? I done experience that already. And it's the thing in Africa called, where you call eldership and growth. Experience is from the elders and from the growth. The growth now keep the knowledge and the experience of the village and then impart it to the village. That's why the songs that we sing and the poetry that we write should be a part of that process to move people from just normal knowledge to the understanding that there's an experiential vibes that must be protected, especially in a Rasta. And it's not protected. You know why it's not protected? Because man feels, because him read the Bible and him put the Bible in the context of Rasta. The thing is alright. When we know, say, it now, so when a man experiences, his foundation is in the holy mountain. And you tell him, say, Mount Zion is the holy mountain where the Psalms are talk about. Him say, the muta, which part Mount Zion there? Not in Ethiopia. I said, there's nowhere in Ethiopia that there's a Mount Zion. But if you want to take the mountain out of Jerusalem and transport it to Mount Zion, to Ethiopia, to fit your shoes, well, I can't stop you. Believe, kill, and believe, cure. I never tell you to don't do it. But I look on it and I show you, say, when the man did I write it, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, he might talk about fit him knowledge and fit him experience. And you can't come now take the man the experience and come claim, say, when you interpret now to satisfy your dilemma or delusion. Maybe I shouldn't use them term there, but it's serious term. Delusion. Because some people get deluded in a certain thinking. Yes, some people really get deluded. You have man who sings the lion crown Haile Selassie, and that go through history. The lion crown him. No lion never crown Haile Selassie. It's the bone and put the crown on Haile Selassie head. It's just them little thing there. Haile Selassie chew up apple and chop it 13 times before it drop a ground. Them things there's what people say to make the thing look like Haile Selassie is Jesus. You have to look on Haile Selassie in him humanity to find that divinity. So if you can't find the humanity of Haile Selassie, then you're going to start to conjure up some ghost-like things, like what them do with the Jesus. So we are trying to put Jesus and Haile Selassie in a one bag now, and I say, Haile Selassie are Jesus, because Haile Selassie did walk on water at them days. Walk on which water? And feed 5,000 people. But if that could happen, we want some Jesus right now. In Africa, in Asia. Give him three bread and take some HTB bread, go and go feed the people them. I'm just going at the bank and just take out $200 and it just multiply. That you can buy some Range Rover and some burnt Mercedes Benz and all them something and just be happy. And how much fingernail you want, you just buy your fingernail them and Q-tex it. And buy a long ear, weave here them and just weave it. And you battery rider them and just ride it. You know, I just saw. So, why me I say all of that? It's because, just a simple thing, why me I say that? Because a man say he might hear a reason on a radio program. And he might ask me about how me see the thing. And I have to tell you how I see it. I mean, I know it kind of harsh sometimes, especially if certain kind of mind rastas are listening. So this is a brother there, Muta. You have some Rasta man who fight against Muta more than Babylon. Yeah, so Rasta man who fight against Muta and say, oh, the brother there Rasta, you know. The man if you got trim. We know, but at 25 years we are now, we can't do no better now. I mean, if let me take it off of the radio, so no. Well, you know, you see the government is guilty of both things, extortion and scamming continuously. I don't know how it's going to work out, but every time a government, that's why I don't like talk to politicians for my program. Well, if them call in, I do say that, you know, if a politician call my program, I go tell him so I not talk to him, you know, but you see me now. Me now go out there, go get one politician for interview him, you know, because when you listen to them, if it's a PNP attack, it sound perfectly right. Until you hear the GLP side, it sound perfectly right. So there's a confusion in the people in mind, because when I show you a point of view with sound, but you know, say, me can't say what I say. And the way you hear the GLP man, you say, boy, you know, say, me can't say what I say. And really and truly, the two of them are scamming, you know. The two of them are scamming, you know, pure scamming are going. Pure scamming are going in Jamaica. The only difference between the scammers, them and Montego Bay, and the government scamming, not even the government, the politician them scamming. I never say government, because you have some politicians who wait till them in a power for scamming, you know. Them scamming 24/7, 365 days. I mean, like 50, how much weeks make a month? A year again. How much months make a year? 12 months. 12 months make a year. In Ethiopia, 13 months make 1 year. But look at one. The scammer them, the only difference between the scammer them in a Montego Bay and the politician them as scam you is that the scammer them, when they make money, because you know, but never see come see, there's a saying in Jamaica, never see come see, you know. You hear the man them start to buy gun, buy this, buy that, all sorts of things, but kill off them one another. So the scammer them are kill off them one another, you know. Most of the people them who hear scamming killing, I know people just why, unless it's a man where them go in yard and can't find him and say you can't catch Kwaku, you catch him shot. So you go for Tony and Tony not there, and him girlfriend there, you kill him girlfriend, and you go for Tony and him mother there, you kill him mother. So the scammer them really go most of the people them who are dead involved in like reprisal killing. Same way in Spanish Town. A young man a kill young man most of the time. A young man a kill young man. Most of the people killing them a young people a kill young people, reprisal killing. You see the government or the politician them no business who them kill. You could have rich, you could have poor. As long as them get some little blood for suck like vampire. And that is how go on. And we don't stop say it, because over the years we don't say none of them make the living condition of black people any better. You this one are coming out with prosperity. Prosperity. What kind of prosperity we searching for? We want to be happy, man. That's all it want, to be happy. Because you can't do have money and happy, you know. Yeah, sometimes if your environment clean, your house clean, you know, you don't have no whole heap of money, but you can afford to buy food and can't send your people to school. And you have a nice little party, you go with some nice fingernail and some horse here by your head. You're alright, you feel happy. But them people don't want you happy. They want you screw face and skin up your face all the while and tell people go with them for do with them mother and all them something. And every time them ring your neck with something, or tax you with something, or do something and say that will help. That will help you. When them put on price passing, them say that will help you. And then when the time come, you realize it not help you. Because over the years, when GLP lose the election the last time, and the PNP government come, can you truly say in a Jamaica that black people, the majority of black people's life was much better? Because we don't tell them, you know, we tell them already, we say, look, man, it's easy for you to sit down in a parliament and talk where you talk, but go try the road, man, go mix with the people, they might realize, say, a pure sufferation out there. Pure sufferation out there. So it's not like, say, people deliberately want leak out against PNP and leak out against Porsche and leak out against this, you know. But the reality of the situation is that this IMF thing, what I'm talking about, is for private sector. It have nothing to do with the common people. And they say, boy, tighten your belt, tighten your belt. How much you can tighten your belt, the more you say, the tribe start come through your mouth. So now, this one I now promise you again. Prosperity. Prosperity. So them promise you now, and them in power for how much days I know, how much weeks, how much month. February to January, February to March, March to April. Them are going to tell you, say, give them time. Well, the other one did I tell you, for give him time too, you know. Remember Peter Phillips said, give him time, and you will see the benefits of the pass in the test. So them people are worried, you know, they have diarrhea, they pass the test. But you know, this guy, you know, promise you prosperity, you know. And him tell the other one, say, anytime PNP in a power, the crime rate zoom up. And you see, as him coming in power, some murder we are going that all the minister, the new minister, yes or now, Montague. I say, him a suggest hanging now. And say, him a call for divine intervention too. I wonder if him and Bunting go to the same church. Because Bunting did not call for the same thing and it looked like him that talk to the wrong God. God never answer him prayer at all. So Montague, you know, come with him divine intervention, you know, but not only that. Me know him a ball out for divine intervention, now him a call, him a stir up the people them about this. Hanging. With this justice system in Jamaica. Can you imagine how much man go up on the gallows? 10 man hang today. And 10 years down the line, you hear the man them who did really do the crime come up and say, you want to say, I made it kill the man in 2020, you know. How you going to manage that now? With this justice system, we're still under the regime of Queen Elizabeth. But I want to ask a question, I really want some answer about that question. I'm very, totally illiterate to these things. And I must say when I'm not informed about certain things, I'm not afraid to say I'm not informed about it. But I hear them talk on the TV about the land them were available for mining. And apparently they might find some little residue of copper and gold in a certain place now. And I really want to ask something now. Because I hear the man say the crown land and the crown land and the crown land. Suppose them a mine somewhere and them find gold on the crown land. Can the Queen authorize our servant, the Governor General, to confiscate all the things them that is found on the land? I don't understand it because them keep saying the crown, they're not the people land, them at all, the crown land. It's like when you go to court, them say John Tam versus the crown. In America, them say John Tam versus the people. In the court, John Tam versus the people. In Jamaica, them say John Tam versus the crown. So the man is up against the crown. Whosoever going to court is up against the crown. So when me hear them a dig for gold and copper, can somebody please advise me that I can be more conscious into these things now? Suppose them find gold on the land, the crown land, not the private people land where them buy, but the crown land. If them find the gold on the crown land, can the Queen advise the Governor General to confiscate all of that gold that them find on the crown land? Or the government of Jamaica would have stepped in and say, this is to benefit the people of Jamaica. Not to say that the Queen would do it, because she's 90 years old, she don't want no more gold. She don't want no more slave. Because she leaves some black people don't have to keep slavery intact. Them sit down in a parliament every day or every week and keep the slavery thing going. But the crown land thing is a problem to me. When we hear it, we kind of say, wait, them still called crown land? I mean, crown land, Rasta? So what you say now? The Chinese, them trespass on the Queen land with a big highway. The Chinese, they build a long highway. You say, hey, who don't watch it, you know? You say the Queen ever dead tomorrow and Prince, who will lie? English brethren, who will lie on the Queen now? We have guests inside and the outside. Who will lie with the Queen? After the Queen gone, who going to become?
I think it will be Charles.
Charles a bad boy, you know. Him love Rasta. Well, I don't know if him love Rasta, but he move one soul for Rasta in England and him do the normal things the way normal youth do. But Charles, oh yeah, Charles, yeah. Same Charles will come another day. Suppose Charles decides, the goal we find upon him generation of people, land, must be returned to the owners of the land. Because the crown own the land. So if the crown own the land, and you find gold upon the land, can can Charles, being the king, demand the goal half I'm land. Because you keep saying it's the crown land. And the only crown about is the Queen Elizabeth crown, British, the empire, the fallen empire. So, I don't know how that's going to work out. So, if somebody can really call and explain to me the intricacies of these political maneuverings, that I can understand it clear, that I can go to my bed and sleep sound, because I don't want to know, say, somewhere in Jamaica, like a piece of land about the way I can really deal with certain things and go here, say, me go find all high pallet and me here, say, it's the crown land. It's the crown land, after she owe so much money. You know what the Queen and her successors. Because when they swear, they say, them swear to the Queen and her successors. Me not a successor. So me don't know if further down the line, me go have piece of, me find high for a piece of land when me buy a year, say, it was the crown land. And me not see no crown. The only king ever go in a king's house, Emperor Selassie the First. The only king. Can you believe that? The only king who ever go in a king's house. Why did they call it king's house in the first place? Why did they call it king's house? But then again, why them call Saint Anne? I mean, who the hell is Saint Anne anyway? Continue.
The informative information presented in this video is motivational and is positively aimed at inspiring, educating and entertaining the viewers with the cutting edge of critical reasoning. If you enjoy the contents on the Black Radar YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to show your support.